College softball on the SEC Network. Tonight, all eyes are on Tuscaloosa as the biggest series in the sport gets underway between number 6 Alabama and the visiting 9th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks here at Rhodes Stadium. And we welcome you inside the booth here at Rhodes. Gray Robertson alongside my All-American partner, Kaylee Tao. Partner, this series the last decade has been cinematic, but with the top 10 pressure added, this could be a blockbuster weekend.
Both of these teams have been on fire to start this season. They both got the series win last weekend, and no doubt we're going to get a good one here at the Rhodes House.
We've got some spectacular hitters on both sides as well. For Alabama, it's the reigning SEC Player of the Week, Brooke Wells.
And she was Player of the Week for a reason. She was 7 for 9 with a home run and a double. She added 2 home runs in their midweek this week. She has been pacing this offense, and oh yeah, she leads the conference in batting average.
Absolutely spectacular work by the Houston transfer, the sophomore for Alabama, and a sophomore for Arkansas, Ella McDowell. She had a case for SEC Player of the Week too.
She absolutely did. Those stats over her last 4 games, 9 for 14, 13 RBIs. She can swing it with power. I'm so excited to see for her and Brooke Wells do this weekend.
Going to be a lot of fun, a lot of pop in these offenses, and by these 2 young ladies, Wells and McDowell, in the last week have each hit 3 home runs. 3 is more than 12 Power 4 teams have hit in the last week.
They love to swing big, and no doubt they're going to be ready in this top 10 showdown this weekend. It's a great crowd, great weather, and you know as a hitter, you're ready to go in a game like this.
And here is the offense that Courtney Deifel brings to Tuscaloosa for the Razorbacks. Top 10 in a lot of national offensive categories, and Brinley Bain, the freshman, has been really strong in the 2 spot.
Courtney Deifel couldn't say enough about Brinley Bain. She's a freshman, but doesn't act like a freshman, knows how to prepare, takes a lot of walks, and has a good eye, so she pairs really well with Ella McDowell.
First pitch strike. And that strike comes from Jocelyn Brisky, the junior out of Phoenix, Arizona, who's enjoying some of her most success in the circle in her college career here this year.
Brisky, she throws it hard. She'll go both up and down with her rise and her drop. Also mix in a change. She's been pounding the zone this season. High strike rate, having a lot of success in her junior year.
As a freshman, got a win in Fayetteville, complete game victory over the Razorbacks. 0-2 to Reagan Johnson. Is slapped foul. And this is a strong start to the lineup for the visitors out of Fayetteville that Brisky has to face. Reagan Johnson, the senior, has been all SEC 3 times in her career. Currently on a 10-game reach base streak. Got her first strikeout for Brisky.
Saw Brisky with her best stuff right there. Again, this is what she does so well. She throws that rise ball, and she'll also mix in her drop ball. Tough for a hitter to decide whether they want to go north or south, and she's got that deadly changeup. Like I said, though, pounds the zone, throws lots of strikes. She likes to pace this defense by going at hitters.
Including Brinley Bain. Yeah, you see what Brisky's going to bring tonight in the circle. One and one on the freshman out of Eagleville, Tennessee. 2025 Miss Tennessee softball, and she has performed well in college. You see the batting average at .491. Has reached base in every game so far this year.
Coach Deifel couldn't say enough about her eye. And sometimes you see a jump to the college game. It's difficult because the strike zone is a little bit different, but Bain has not been phased. She trusts herself, been able to get hits when she needs to, and also stay patient, take her walks.
She chases upstairs, and Brisky is on a heater to start things.
Well, Brisky doesn't walk a lot of batters. She goes right at them, gets another strikeout with her rise ball, gets underneath it, climbs the ladder. Second strikeout of the day already in this first inning.
And now here we go. The 3-hitter for Arkansas, Ella McDowell, the All-American, who's been red hot. Richmond, Texas native. Third-team All-American last year, preseason All-SEC this season. You saw the last 4-game stats. On the road this year, she's hitting .600 with 10 RBIs.
I think that's pretty good, Gray. Arkansas is a good team on the road. Whether you're talking about McDowell or the whole team, they win a lot on the road. They win a lot, period.
Now what Coach Deifel has done for this program has been remarkable in the last 11 years. We were saying, too, pregame, there's nothing like the electricity in a stadium before a big-time SEC series.
Absolutely not. And you can tell the fans here in Tuscaloosa know the magnitude of this series this weekend showing up.
McDowell got a piece, and she'll stay alive. Boy, a tough battle between the junior in the circle and the sophomore in the box. And even though nothing's been put in play as of yet, you can already just see how talented McDowell is staying alive and fighting off these pitches.
This is exactly what I would expect between Brisky and McDowell. Just a dogfight from the beginning.
Change got her looking. Jocelyn Brisky strikes out the side to start the game.
Brisky has been coming with the heat, but she pulls the string on her changeup, gets McDowell looking, strikes out the side.
So now it's up to Robin Herron for Arkansas. The senior lefty out of Tampa, Florida, second-team All-SEC last year, gets the start for the Razorbacks.
She leads this team. She's a captain, and she wants the ball in these moments on the Friday night game. She's got some good stuff. She'll work a rise ball up in the zone. She can throw her changeup on any count. But her bread and butter is that curveball that she'll throw to both sides of the plate. Trust that pitch, and it is nasty.
A lot of experience in the circle. Has thrown nearly 80 innings in her career against top 10 teams. Facing Audrey Vandegrift to start. And Herron is able to miss barrels as well as anyone in the SEC. We'll see how she does against this Alabama offense. Revamped and juiced up with Vandegrift, Wells, and Papillo, who's hitting .463 going in the first inning.
We highlighted Wells in the opener, but Papillo is a large reason that Wells is having that success. She protects her down in the 3 spot, and she has 9 home runs herself. So deadly combination here at the top of this lineup.
2-1 for the All-American Audrey Vandegrift. Bogart, Georgia native, a sophomore this season. Preseason All-SEC selection. And you see the season numbers for Vandegrift, hitting .333. Strangely 0 for 9 against ranked teams here this year. And she chases there. Herron with a beautiful pitch. And we've seen 4 strikeouts total to start this game.
These pitchers are ready to go in this Friday night game. I told you Robin Herron would throw her changeup on any count. She's very comfortable with it. And there takes a little off of it and gets Vandegrift swinging.
Now how will this battle go? Brooke Wells steps in. Sophomore out of Round Rock, Texas, the transfer from Houston, reigning SEC Player of the Week. First in the conference with that .533 batting average, top 10 in home runs, third in slugging. And those numbers I read, those were in the conference. This is in the country for Wells. Top 10 in OBP, slugging, and batting average.
And Wells has just been on a tear. Transfer from Houston, and talking to Coach Murphy, he talked about how he had heard she was one of the best hitters in Texas coming out of high school, but she had committed to Houston. And then when she went in the portal, he knew he had to get her, and she already making a name for herself here in Tuscaloosa.
And this is what she's done in the last 9 games. Look at the OPS.
That OPS is insane. 14 RBIs, 6 home runs.
But a strikeout there. Herron gets the chase on the rise, and it's been all Ks here in the first inning.
Herron going upstairs with her rise ball, gets Brooke Wells swinging. Great placement on that pitch underneath the hands. And Brooke Wells, who likes to swing big, that's a good pitch on 2 strikes.
Well, we'll see if anyone's able to put it in play as the game goes on. 5 batters total, 5 strikeouts, and a first pitch ball to Alexis Papillo.
This week, we were so excited about seeing these 2 offenses talk to the coaches a lot about their hitting and, of course, their pitching, but it has been the pitching show so far.
Called strike there. Papillo in the last 5, hitting .500. Did play Arkansas when she was at Northern Iowa, hit a 3-run homer against the Razorbacks.
Really good spot there on the outside corner by Herron. That pitch cuts a lot.
Here comes the 2-2. Stays alive. On the ground and through the right side. There is a ball in play, and it's a 2-out single for Alexis Papillo.
Herron just left that pitch a little too sweet over the plate with 2 strikes to a hitter like Papillo. You got her on her heels. You're thinking something not in the zone comes over the plate. Papillo with the first hit of the ballgame.
And a 2-out chance for the senior, Marley Giles. Fouls off the first pitch. Clanton, Alabama native from Chilton County High School. She will celebrate her senior day tomorrow, and word is at least 30 people will be on the field with her pregame during that ceremony.
She's been a staple in the Alabama lineup since she got here. Born and raised. One and two. In the air on the right side. Wyckoff has a beat. And the inning ends. Alabama strands a 2-out single. And we're off and running in Tuscaloosa. Second inning coming up next. Here it's going to be like this all weekend long. Beautiful sky, blue sky, hardly a cloud up there, 66 degrees, maybe a little wind that's blown out. But it's just a perfect night in Tuscaloosa for a top 10 matchup between Alabama and Arkansas. Glad that you're with us, Gray Robertson and Kaylee Tao. And
It was all pitchers in the first inning. Jocelyn Brisky with 3 Ks to start it off, and now she faces the meat of the Razorbacks order, beginning with Cal transfer Tiana Bell. On the ground to short. Hawkins makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, Gray, you talked about the good weather, and I remember as a player, when you're going into a big series like this on a Friday night, it's 65 degrees in the middle of March. If I'm Jocelyn Brisky, I'm feeling it. I'm ready to bring my best stuff, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Now taking on the Arizona transfer Dakota Kennedy, 2-time All-American. Has been all-conference in 2 different leagues, the Pac-12 and the Big 12. She'll gun for SEC this year, batting .307 with those 17 RBIs. In the air to left, long run for Johnson, and it falls foul. And Dakota Kennedy has really ramped it up the last 6 games.
She's a big-time player. Had 3 home runs in 1 game earlier this season. As you mentioned, so much success in her previous years, and we talked to Coach Deifel about her and her numbers, hitting .307 on the year, but .307 is still really good. If you're a player like Dakota Kennedy, though, you might be feeling like you're not having as good of a season because you're used to hitting near that 400 mark.
This is a fly ball towards left field. Catch made by Johnson for out number 2. When you mentioned Courtney Deifel, the head coach for the Razorbacks, there she is in her 11th season in Fayetteville. What a tenure it's been. 8 trips to the NCAA tournament, 4 trips to Supers, won the regular season title twice in the SEC, 2-time conference coach of the year, all-time leader in wins.
She's been the difference maker in Fayetteville. At first, just trying to bring this program to where they could compete for championships in the SEC, and now every single year, you know they're going to be near the top. That's the expectation and the culture that she's built there. And also, it's a big thing to coach a National Player of the Year, and she had the National Player of the Year last year in large part because of what her and her staff do.
When you see the turnaround right there, not too long ago, teams would get excited when they would play Arkansas. But under Coach Deifel, that series has now been, for everyone, a lot tougher. And especially when Arkansas has gone on the road. They've won 19 of the last 20 SEC road series they've played.
You just don't want to see them on your schedule, period. They're fighters in the box and in the circle. And we've got a good crowd at Rhodes Stadium this weekend, but they also bring a good crowd at home. So they have a tough place to play as well.
Yeah, it's always fun to see everyone at Bogle out on the berm. You've got folks sometimes on the roofs across the street.
It's a fun place to play. I can say I played there, love going there, because whether it's your crowd or not, you really feed off the energy.
But right now, Jocelyn Brisky is feeding off the energy from Rhodes. Her 4th strikeout, and it's still scoreless going to the bottom.
And Coach Murphy talks about his goal is to bring players in that elevate the rest of the team. Every year they've got to get better, and that's what these transfers and these freshmen have done for this offense.
Certainly hard not to think that Anna Roman has elevated everybody. The freshman out of Oviedo, Florida, starts off the 2nd. The reigning SEC Freshman of the Week. 4-star recruit according to Softball America. Last 5 games hitting .455 with 5 walks and a couple home runs. Back up the middle. The freshman leads off the 2nd with a single.
Anna Roman just swings it so fearlessly with so much power. Robin Heron brings her a curveball over the plate early. She's ready for it, hits it right back up the middle to start this offense in the 2nd inning.
We'll see what Salem Hawkins is asked to do. She bunts it foul. Junior out of Phoenix, Arizona, 2nd year in Tuscaloosa after starting her career at Mississippi State. with the Bulldogs, did have a 2-run homer against Arkansas her freshman season. 2 for 7 all time against the Hogs. Beautiful. McDowell's got it. Sacrifice executed. And Roman stands on second.
With the way these pitchers have been throwing, runs might be at a premium today. Salem Hawkins squares again on the second pitch. Puts down a textbook sacrifice. Move Roman into scoring position for the senior Abby Dukeshire.
First pitch to the North Dakota native Dukeshire. Big swing, but came up empty. Dukeshire has seen the batting average a little lower than you'd want, under 200. The OBP is strong at 370, but right now looking to drive in Roman at second base.
Talked about the consistency of the offense, and I think it's this position, that third base spot, that's been really the only question mark for Alabama. Sometimes it's Dukeshire, sometimes Maudie Hubbard. But the thing about Dukeshire is she has the opportunity to change the game in one swing every time she gets up there. So much power, swings really big, and she's a senior. I know Coach Murphy trusts her with the bat.
Did she hold up? She did. Full count.
Aaron, back-to-back changeups. The one before in the dirt almost gets Dukeshire to swing. That one a little more in the zone. Dukeshire fouling it off. Good job adjusting.
Pitch 7 in this battle. Did she go? They'll check. She did. Heron gets the strikeout, and there's 2 down. Strikeout number 3 for Robin Heron. First pitch fouled by the Iowa transfer, Jenna Young. 2-time All Big Ten selection with the Hawkeyes in her first season in Tuscaloosa.
Can already tell the game plan for this Alabama offense. Swing early, swing at the curveball when you get it for a strike. They've been trying to attack. The problem is get a good pitch and they're a little bit late and they foul it off, and then you have to deal with some of Heron's other nasty stuff, her changeup and her rise ball.
Runner goes, the throw from Miller ricochets away. Roman scurries up. She'll head for home and she'll get tagged out. Patrick Murphy is wondering if the collision impacted Roman's ability to head home. So a challenge of obstruction at third base.
I don't know that I'm seeing anything that looks like obstruction. So the way that the rule was explained is if Roman was to hit Riho before she reaches the bag and Riho is in the baseline, that would be considered obstruction if she hits the player before the player receives the ball. I don't know that Riho ever really received the ball, but I didn't see her in the baseline either.
So obviously the question here is, if there was a collision, did that preclude Roman from having a chance to come in and score? And we saw her at third base have to take a minute to get up.
I think the question would be if her helmet hit Riho's arm. That's the only potential contact I see, but I don't see anything definitive. I'm usually wrong on these, though, I will admit. Not a great color on the replays.
Well, and they're currently checking with Birmingham. Conference play has a centralized review center at the conference office. Coach Murphy was pretty adamant. It was also interesting because he was initially telling Roman, hey, stay, and then started waving her home, I think once he thought that collision had occurred.
Once again, I think that's a product of runs being at a premium. You get an opportunity, try to be aggressive, hoping that Arkansas would make an error, but they don't make a lot of errors.
They're checking the play at home as well. This, based on what we know, would not be obstruction.
Yeah, I think that's clean. Pretty obviously clean.
After review, the call stands at third base. No obstruction.
So no obstruction
Alabama
on the
has
play.
one challenge remaining.
Alabama loses one of their 2 challenges, and we go to the third, still scoreless in Tuscaloosa. In the circle for Alabama junior Jocelyn Brisky.
Brisky has been feeling it, bringing the heat, using her rise ball, climbing the ladder with it. Very efficient so far tonight. Arkansas hitters have had a hard time catching up with her rise in the zone.
And this is right along the lines of what she normally does. Look at the strike percentage in the last 6 games. Brisky has just been pounding the zone.
And I think that's where she's grown this year. Last year, a little bit effectively wild, threw quite a few balls, but this year, a lot of improvement, pounding the strike zone, being very efficient in all of her outings.
Facing 7, 8, 9 in the Razorback order. And strike 1 to Italia Riho, the senior out of Horseheads, New York. Second team all-region pick last year, but having a phenomenal senior campaign. With that 352 average, 22 RBIs. Currently riding a 5-game reach base streak. Two. Got her. Strikeout number 5 for Brisky.
Brisky again with the rise ball. This time goes up even higher over Riho's head. Gets the strikeout. And that pitch is working tonight. She's using it a lot.
Now facing Kennedy Miller, the junior. And we talked a little bit ago as we take a look at Miller, Georgetown, Texas native. And when you're playing a pitcher like Brieske who throws as many strikes as she does, how does that adjust your game plan coming into that matchup, Kaylee?
Well, you have to pick a pitch and you have to pick a speed. And I think right now Brieske's feeling her rise ball, but it's not necessarily in the zone. So if I'm Arkansas, I'm looking for her drop ball or her changeup, whichever one you're more comfortable with. And I'm going up there and seeing that pitch and trying to hit it. Right now, they're swinging at the rise ball, and she's just climbing the ladder more and more with it as this game goes on.
See what Miller does on the 1-1. Fouled away. Now, it's obviously easier said than done, but we'll see, I think, especially second time through, how that adjustment comes out for Arkansas.
Absolutely, and how Brieske adjusts as well. Does she start throwing some more balls? Because sometimes as a pitcher, you can strategically throw more balls to try to get hitters swinging.
Did she go? Yes, she did. How about 6?
It is so tough to battle against Brieske when her changeup looks like this. It's located perfectly, starts at the knees, just falls off the table. Can't hold back, and Brieske gets another strikeout.
2 down for Carly Davison. Senior out of Torrance, California, second year in Fayetteville after transferring in from Utah. Batting .421 this year, hitting just .214 though in the last 5. But a player that Courtney Deifel said is the best second baseman in the country. And she gets hit. So the first time Brieske has really struggled with her location, and it's a 2-out hit by pitch here in the 3rd.
Brieske loses this one in the dirt. Hits Davison, and Davison doing her job in that 9-hole. You're just trying to get something started any way you can. Roll the lineup over to Reagan Johnson.
Second time for Johnson. Senior struck out back in the 1st inning. Now this is the first time Brieske has fallen behind 2-0.
Right back with 2 strikes.
Two. Oh man, Jocelyn Brieske cooking with gas. 7 strikeouts through 3 innings of work.
We talked about her rise ball so much, but oh yeah, she can do this with her drop ball, locates it perfectly, gets another strikeout. We'll see if the Alabama offense can put a run on the board when we come back.
Off 8-9-1 for the Tide, due up here in the home half of the 3rd. I'm sure a sign Patrick Murphy also loves. Iowa guy.
Alexis Papillo as well.
Yeah.
Northern Iowa transfer.
Really, Iowa all over the program.
Jaden Spencer, also from Iowa. So many connections from Alabama to Iowa. Alabama softball.
Iowa transfer Young pops this up. Running in from left is Kennedy for out number 1. That brings up the 9-hitter, Lauren Johnson, who has been producing way more than a typical 9-hitter. Junior out of Franklin, Tennessee. 3rd on the team with a .425 batting average.
We talked about her to Coach Murphy this week, and he mentioned that he had thought about moving her out of the 9-hole because of how good her numbers were, but she functions so well right there. She has sneaky power, a couple home runs on the year, but also just finds a way to do her job. You saw her try to drag bunt. She has a little bit of speed, a lot of tools in that 9-hole for Alabama.
The second Johnson sister to play for Patrick Murphy. Older sister Jenna was your teammate.
I think I know that girl. Jenna and I, longtime teammates. Was really excited when her sister committed here. And a cool story. Imagine being your parents. You just get to live the dream life for many, many years here at the Rhodes House.
Well, Johnson has delivered 2 in the last 5 games, hitting .375. You saw the start to the season and what she's done lately. Had that home run in game 1 against Ole Miss that got the scoring started.
And not just got the scoring started, but set the tone for the weekend and for the SEC season. You know, you can have a good start to a year in the non-conference, but there's a little question mark going into the SEC because the caliber raises quite a bit when you go into conference play. And Lauren Johnson setting the tone with the home run in that 9 spot. And everyone's breathing a little bit easier.
That's the great thing about these conference series, and I think we're going to see that tonight as this goes on. It really does, in many occasions, just come down to that one hit. What can you do to grab momentum? How can you get the mojo on your side? This is quite the battle between Herron and Johnson.
Well, absolutely, and that's why you saw Patrick Murphy send Anna Roman home on the play at 3rd, because not only could it be a timely hit, but also timely error in a 1-run ball game, and that's the difference between a win and a loss. And a win and a loss is a big deal in the SEC season.
They'll check. Johnson did not go. 2-2.
We've seen a lot of check swings so far, and check swings are a really good indicator that your stuff is moving. Robin Herron is moving her pitches through the zone. These Alabama hitters trying to make a late decision, a lot of check swings and indecisiveness.
Here's pitch 10 from Herron to Johnson. Ball 4. The 9 spot turns it over with a 1-out walk.
Just a great at-bat on both sides of the ball, and it ends with a really good pitch. Robin Herron with the backdoor curve. It's a little off the plate, but it's really well located. Could have went one way or the other. Good job by Lauren Johnson taking the walk.
Talked about the Arkansas adjustments. We'll see how Alabama adjusts second time through. That is well hit, but well foul.
Absolutely filthy changeup from Robin Herron. And again, when you're getting swings and misses like that, just proof that your stuff is on tonight.
Vandegrift stays alive. Got her. Another strikeout for Herron. She's got 4.
Herron using all of her stuff tonight, and it's all working. Low in the zone, skips the dirt, and gets the All-American Vandegrift swinging for the second time.
Now the second time we've seen Herron versus Wells. First round was won by Herron, a strikeout, as Wells chased the rise ball. Ooh, what a snare. Johnson takes off. But I'll tell you what, Kennedy Miller just made a heck of a grab to keep that pitch in play.
You can tell Herron wanted to throw that under the hands of Brooke Wells. Same pitch location that she got the strikeout. Got a little aggressive with it. But smart base running by Lauren Johnson. Talked about her tools at the plate, but also her tools on the bases. And now prime opportunity for Alabama. Hitters count 2-0 with your best hitter at the plate.
And I think a really good time, too, for Courtney Deifel to go out and have a word with Herron, considering this big opportunity with Brooke Wells up.
Absolutely. She knows the opportunity and how to change the momentum. Feels a little bit like it's shifting in Alabama's favor, but she's got a senior in the circle that she trusts. She's going to go out there, slow her down, smile, laugh a little bit, knowing, hey, all you have to do is make one pitch. You make one pitch, get out of this inning. We come in, we're feeling good.
Well, now with Johnson on second, we look at the runners in scoring position stats. Wells is hitting .600 in that category here this year, and she won't get a chance to hit. Arkansas will put her on.
I was wondering if this also could be part of the conversation. You get Wells 2-0, you got her sitting in a hitter's count. Do you just go ahead and walk her? But if you do that, you bring up Papillo, who we talked about also having a great season. And I used to be in this opportunity a lot in college, hitting behind SEC Player of the Year, Bailey Hemphill, and would just love when the pitcher would intentionally walk Bailey in front of me. Feels like a challenge. And can Papillo protect Brooke Wells right here?
Papillo singled in the first. Ball 1. When we were just talking about it, you brought it up. Here are the similarities. In 2021, Bailey Hemphill, SEC Player of the Year, protected in the lineup by you. And this year, Lex Papillo backing up Brooke Wells.
You have to have that hitter behind your star who makes the other team think just a little bit. If we walk Brooke Wells, that means we have to face Papillo, and then we have to face Marley Giles, and then we have to face Anna Ruman. So that hitter behind your star is almost just as important as that player.
Well, the atmosphere really ramping up now. 2 on, 2 out, the 2-2 from Herron. Got her! Robin Herron gets the chase and gets out of a jam here in the third.
The intentional walk pays off because Robin Herron comes through with this rise ball, gets her team out of the inning. We'll see if the Arkansas offense can take that momentum.
Nice to be joined by the head coach for the Razorbacks, Courtney Deifel. And Coach, man, Robin Herron has been absolutely awesome to start this game. What have you liked about her performance with runners on base so far tonight?
Well, I think her performance has been really gritty, just like she always is for us, but just really trusting her stuff more than anything, and that's what's gotten her to here. It's just trusting her spin and trusting her speeds.
Coach Deifel, trying to help you jinx the no-hitter. What does your offense need to do against Brisky to get their first hit?
Well, we jinxed the perfect game last inning, so we're on the right track, but she's a great pitcher. We knew it was going to be a battle, so just pick the pitch they're wanting to go after and go after it. She's
Awesome.
going to get hers too, so we just got to stay the course.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Whip.
As Arkansas head coach Courtney Deifel in her 11th season in Fayetteville. And I mean, look, this is kind of what we thought we'd see at some point this weekend. Herron and Brisky absolutely doing work in the circle.
Yeah, the upperclassmen for these staffs, they pace the whole pitching staff, and they have been absolutely stellar tonight.
Bain opposite way. Johnson is there.
But I completely agree with Coach Deifel on the plan against Brisky. It's picking your pitch, kind of what I was saying earlier in the game. She works up, she works down in, she works a changeup. Very hard when it's 70 miles an hour to react to all three of those, almost impossible. So what do you want, what can you hit well, and what are you gonna go up there swinging at?
Man, Salem Hawkins makes the hard look easy, and McDowell is retired with one pitch.
Salem Hawkins is so athletic at the shortstop spot for Alabama. Human highlight reel. Immediately charges this ball, does exactly what she should, keeps running, throws it on the run. Great play.
Tiana Bell couldn't hold up. 0-1. Bell grounded out to Hawkins in the second. First year in Fayetteville for the Cal transfer was kind of similar to Kennedy. All conference in 2 leagues, the ACC and the Pac-12. So Arkansas has 2 kids here this year who are looking to be all conference in their 3rd different league.
Just goes to show the craziness of the leagues the past few seasons too, the conference realignment. And then Coach Deifel's work in the transfer portal. She always seems to find the great players in the portal, brings them to Arkansas, and they continue to get better when they get there. That's the development that her and her staff are able to implement. And you're seeing that with Bell, 465 on the season, having a great year so far in the SEC.
Well, not only players who are strong and really, really good who get better, but also players that Arkansas needs. They always seem to fill the right spot when they search in the portal.
Absolutely, and you see those stats there. Transfers under Deifel, 9 All-Americans, 14 All-SEC, 2 SEC Player of the Year. But Jocelyn Brisky still doing her thing in the circle. Strikes out Tiana Bell to end the inning. Tiana Brisky is cooking.
Town in the booth, and now the Hall of Famer Patrick Murphy, the head coach for Alabama, joins us. And Coach, Jocelyn Brisky, 4 innings of work, 8 strikeouts. She's been very sharp. What have you liked about her mentality here this season as a junior?
Well, first, Miss Tao, welcome home. It's really good to have you back in the Rhodes House. She has just changed her entire mentality from last year. She's more confident. She goes after batter. She's very efficient with her strikes, as you guys know. She's just been terrific all year.
Thank you, Coach Murphy. Happy to be back. Your team able to get a couple runners on. What do y'all need to do to find the timely hit?
Okay, we need to get rid of that changeup in the dirt. Stop swinging at it. Lay off the rise ball. She's got a really good rise ball, and that's easier said than done, as you know, as a hitter. But stay within the zone, be patient, and our execution is going to win us a game.
Thank you for the time, Coach.
Yeah, thanks for being here, guys.
It's Alabama head coach Patrick Murphy. Obviously thrilled with the way that Brisky has pounded his own, and specifically pointing out what he wants the hitters to do with the changeup, a pitch that's been really effective for Herron so far tonight.
But he also pointed out that it's easier said than done. There's a reason that they're swinging at that changeup, because it looks good and it has that good break. So if I'm Alabama, they really need to elevate their eyes, start their eyes up at their belt, look for something higher in the zone. That way You're not even fishing at anything knees and below.
4, 5, 6, Giles, Roman, Hawkins here in the fourth. Well, and this is just par for the course in this rivalry. As you see Giles, who flew out in the first. Giles out towards center, but Johnson will back up and make the grab.
But if I'm Alabama, I'm using that. You see Marley Giles getting excited, trying to get the offense up. Best piece of contact that Alabama's seen today. Just hit right at Johnson out in left field. And again, executing that plan. Herron brings a pitch over the plate. Marley Giles is on time and hits it hard. That's where it starts for Alabama.
Anna Roman singled to lead off the second. And as we started to mention, par for the course in this series. Alabama does have a pretty dominant lead overall, but look at the last 16. 8 games apiece. 3 of the last 5 have gone to extras. And of those last 16 games, 8 of those have been decided by 2 runs or less. So you look at when Courtney Deifel arrived in Fayetteville, this series got a lot more fun. And you've seen kind of blockbuster matchups the last 5-6 years between these two.
Well, and it's kind of a rivalry emerging because of the success at the top of the conference. Arkansas has been competing for SEC championships, whether it be regular season or in the tournament, and typically Alabama and Florida have dominated the SEC championships, and so games like this mean a ton when these are the 2 teams at the top competing for a trophy.
Two and two. On the other aspect as well, you look at the conference standings, sweeps galore last weekend. So it kind of feels like every game has even more importance in conference play, just because I'm not sure a lot of teams are going to take a ton of L's this year. Roman is 2 for 2. 1 out single here in the fourth.
Anna Roman is just so impressive. As a freshman, she has great hands. You see, she lets this pitch get deep. Looks like a drop ball inside. She lets it get so deep and ends up taking it back up the middle. That's a very tough and sophisticated piece of hitting, but exactly what you want to do, and it pays off for her second hit of the day.
Strike 1 to Salem Hawkins, her first chance to truly hit away after a bunt in the second. Alabama tonight 0 for 4 with runners on. Out towards center, Johnson's got a beat. 2 down.
Third baseman, number 10, Abby Dusher.
Abby Dusher struck out in the second. A long at-bat that ended after she went too far around on a check swing. Popped up. Herron is beckoned away by McDowell, and we roll right along with no runs on the board. Off to the 5th here in T-Town. Met up 4 times, including a 3-game series here in Tuscaloosa. Monday night softball, Coach Murphy mic'd up, and it went to extra innings. A just fabulous pitching duel between Montana Fouts and Shanice Dels.
And the legend, Ryland Hedgecock, coming through in extra innings. Difference maker in a 10-inning game. Absolute classic on a Monday night, and really a picture of what these games have been like in the most recent meetings. And we're getting another one tonight.
Yeah, this is just kind of how it goes when Alabama and Arkansas meet up. You know it's going to be good. You know it will be tight. 5, 6, 7 for the Razorbacks. Kennedy, Wyckoff, and Riho. Dakota Kennedy towards right. That's a fair ball. Roman got it in as quick as she could, but there's the first hit of the night for Arkansas. A leadoff double from Kennedy here in the 5th.
We talked about Kennedy's numbers being a little lower this year, but she is still a big-time player. This is the reason why she gets a pitch elevated on the inside part of the plate. She knows what she's looking for, meets it out in front, and absolutely drives it off the right field wall. Starts the inning off on a big note for Arkansas. Breaks up the no-hitter. Coach Steifel can thank me for that.
Well, and I'll tell you what, that was fair by maybe a couple feet. Not a big surprise to see Wyckoff trying to move the runner. Strikeout in the 2nd, but a lot of speed on. Bunted towards Wells. Sacrifice executed. And a runner at 3rd with 1 out for Arkansas.
Shortstop number 26, Natalia Rio.
We talked about timely hitting, limited opportunities in a close game like this. And this is also how quick a game like this can shift. It goes from feeling like Alabama's getting the momentum on the offensive side, a couple balls hit well, but Arkansas coming in, also making their adjustment. One good hit off the bat of Dakota Kennedy, and now Rijo with a chance for a sacrifice fly or hit, scoring a run.
We'll see. Out towards center. Kennedy will tag up. Here she comes. The throw home is late, and Arkansas is on the board. Natalia Rijo with the sac fly, and it's 1-0.
That's exactly how it's done. You come up, you're decisive, you get a pitch, you know, you just have to put it in the green. Dakota Kennedy, textbook base running. And I think the key there was Audrey Vandegrift. She did not get behind that ball and come through it with momentum to get into her throw. She was standing a little bit still, had to take some steps after she caught the ball, and that's ultimately the difference in a play at the plate that's close.
Arkansas firmly manufacturing here in the 5th. Double, sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly. Now 2 gone for Miller, who struck out in the 3rd. That is also, Kaylee, the first run Alabama has allowed this year in the 5th inning.
Typically done really well, but you know, Arkansas has something to say about that, and I think you can tell with the momentum coming from their dugout. They've been very excited since the very beginning of the inning and shifting their approach at the plate. I think they've been going up there swinging at anything. In this inning, it feels more decisive and more on time.
Lance McMahon, the pitching coach, out having a word with Brisky. And the first time tonight, we've really heard the Arkansas fans making some noise here at Rhodes as the Woo Pig Sooie rumbles throughout the stadium. Bullpen active for the Crimson Tide as well, with Moten, Johnson, and Palazzi. They'll check. She did not go. Payoff. Jam job foul. Good bounce back by Brisky, but Arkansas is on the board. A sac fly from Rijo, and we'll see if Alabama can respond when we return. Here in Tuscaloosa, game 1 of what should be a blockbuster series here in Tuscaloosa. And so far, the situational hitting has not been blockbuster on either side. Arkansas has just the one hit. Alabama 0 for 6 with runners aboard, but Arkansas was able to get that run across after a leadoff double with some good old-fashioned manufacturing.
And sometimes that's all it takes in this league. The margin of error, so slim. Can be an error, a walk. Sac fly does not have to be a hit. But on the Alabama side, they've been able to get the runners on, haven't been able to cash them in, and that's the adjustment that they're going to have to make if they want to tie this thing up or potentially win it.
And Patrick Murphy going with a pinch hitter here to start off the 5th. Sophomore Madi Hubbard hitting 300 on the year. Had an RBI in the midweek against Samford, her 2nd of the year.
And this is partly a matchup decision from Coach Murphy. One of the most difficult matchups in the game is a lefty batter versus lefty pitcher with that curveball of Heron running away from you. It's very tough to hit. Jenna Young was a lefty, and now he goes with Madi Hubbard, the righty, thinking she might have a better opportunity.
The 1-2 from Heron. Stayed outside. Smoked foul.
We're seeing Madi Hubbard show slap and then pull back. This is to level her eyes. It can keep your eyes looking down. She wants to see something under the letters on her jersey, laying off the rise.
And we've seen this a few times. Alabama work it full. Led to a walk once, but Heron's won a lot of these battles here tonight. It's a walk and a leadoff free pass for the Crimson Tide.
So really good at bat for Madi Hubbard, coming off the bench cold. She took some really good pitches from Heron that a couple of these other hitters have been swinging at. So that tells me she's been doing her job on the bench, paying attention to what the hitters in front of her have gotten. Comes in, starts the inning with a runner on base.
And you would think Lauren Johnson will probably look to lay something down here. Did walk in a long plate appearance back in the 3rd. She was trying, but pitch 1 missed. Bunted to Bell, the throw to first will convert the sacrifice, and Hubbard is safe at 2nd.
Okay, this is the opportunity for Audrey Vandegrift, the All-American. She's got 2 strikeouts on the day. How do you respond? Biggest opportunity of the game so far.
Well, and the importance of this batter right here, Vandegrift, can't be overstated because first base is open. So you know if they don't get Vandegrift, Arkansas's probably going to walk Wells, set up a similar situation that we saw earlier in this game.
Absolutely, it's much like Papillo behind Wells. They want to go after Vandegrift, which, don't get me wrong, Audrey Vandegrift is one of the best players on this team with so much potential. Hasn't had the numbers so far this year, but she can swing it.
Swings that one foul. Well, not even statistically, too, but you like the matchup, taking on a lefty as opposed to the righty Wells. So, again, more on Vandegrift's plate right here with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. on the ground to second. Davison bobbled it. The team with the best fielding percentage in America just committed an error to put runners on the corners with one away.
This is the pressure of the speed of Audrey Vandegrift. She swings at a ball, puts it on the ground, gives Arkansas an opportunity. Davison raises her head up a little too soon, trying to make the throw to get Vandegrift's speed. And now a big opportunity for the best hitter in the SEC.
And Arkansas has to go after her. A strikeout and a walk for the reigning SEC Player of the Week. And if you're Alabama too, the other thing you're not doing is having Vandegrift steal. She'll stay put at first to keep that base occupied. And out comes Courtney Deifel as Rhodes is really starting to ramp up now.
Well, you knew this crowd was going to insert themselves in the game at some point. It's only a matter of time here at Rhodes Stadium. Robin Herron had a little bit of control issues this inning.
A leadoff walk, a sacrifice bunt, and then the E4, just the second error of the year by Carly Davison, just the sixth by Arkansas, and now Courtney Deifel will make a pitching change. On a 2-0 count, with runners on the corners and one out, Arkansas will bring in the sophomore Peyton Burnham. We'll tell you about her when we return. 1-0 Hogs here in the fifth. What a crowd, what a game. 1-0 Arkansas, Alabama threatening with runners on the corners, one out. And Courtney Deifel with a 2-0 count to Brooke Wells has made a change in the circle. It'll be the sophomore out of Eugene, Oregon, Peyton Burnham.
Burnham likes to work up in the zone, throws mostly rise. She'll also mix in a change and a drop. She likes to pound the zone. She has 21 strikeouts to 3 walks on the season. Really great ratio there, meaning she loves to throw strikes and pound the zone.
She'll need to against Wells. She comes in with that 2-0 count, replacing Robin Herron, who threw beautifully but just ran into a little trouble here in the fifth. And it looks like they're not even thinking about it with Wells. Bases loaded. And if you're Alabama, this has been a story of late. Lex Papillo stepping up, but the Tide in the last 4 games has struggled in this exact situation. Papillo is 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. And she's trying to reverse that. 1 for 14 with the bases loaded in the last 4 games.
It's all about how you think about this opportunity. You don't have to clear the bases. This is a sac fly opportunity. Put something in the outfield, tie this game up. Don't make it bigger than it is.
First pitch high and away. Alabama did bring in a pinch runner at first for Wells. As you see Papillo's night so far. Had that single in the first, a strikeout in the third, ended a chance. That pinch runner at first is Kinley Pate. So a lot of speed on for the Crimson Tide. 1-2. Papillo clears him. Bases loaded, drama no more. It's 3-1 Alabama.
the price you pay when you put Brooke Wells on the bases just to face Alexis Papillo. Gets a pitch up in the zone, catches it out in front, and drives it into the right center gap. No man's land, and these runners are running for days. Lex Papillo not going for the sacrifice pie. She wants to clear them all. Alabama on top, 3-1.
And that got this place up, ladies and gentlemen. Strike one to Giles. Well, and that's exactly why we talked about that protection graphic earlier in the game. The importance of having a reliable hitter behind your offensive stud. You were that player 5 years ago, and this year for Patrick Murphy, that person is Alexis Papillo.
And faced that exact situation multiple times. Alexis Papillo had already struck out in that opportunity earlier in the game. They walked Wells in front of her. She strikes out. And if you let that affect you going into your next at-bat, you don't clear the bases with a double like that. She comes up with a mature at-bat, cashes in for Alabama.
1-1 grounded to short. Rijo collected herself and made a good throw for out number 2. But hang on, our umpiring crew is going to give Giles another chance on an illegal pitch. And Courtney Deifel immediately has questions. There was also an illegal pitch called on the first pitch of that sequence to Giles. And so now instead of 2 gone, a 2-1 count on the senior captain. She pops it up. Johnson makes the grab, and Papillo will stay put.
I find it a little comical, Gray. Gray and I were talking to the umpire head before the game, talking about the obstruction rule and illegal pitches, and thinking, we won't get those tonight. We've gotten both of them.
Well, it's just because we're here. First pitch fouled off by Roman. That's why we have the physical rule book this year. I couldn't take the risk.
The game is just getting crazier and crazier. We have no idea what's going to happen. So we have the rule book in case we need it.
Alabama's gotten hits out of Anna Roman, which they've needed here tonight. Couple singles. Quickly down 0-2. Both of these teams are elite at answering back, both well over 50% in scoring the inning right after the opponent. Alabama's done that here in the bottom of the 5th. Arkansas will have a chance to return the favor in the 6th. Burnham got her. They had to check down, but even I could call that one. And a strikeout ends the inning. But the inning is a 3 spot for Alabama, thanks to a big bases-loaded hit from Alexis Papillo.
Alexis Papillo finally cashing in with runners in scoring position for the Alabama offense. We've got a good one here in Tuscaloosa, y'all. Don't go away.
Because man, oh man, what a game to start this series. These two teams still have 2 more matchups. And as we go to the 6th, Alabama leads Arkansas 3-1. Razorbacks scored in the top of the 5th on a sac fly from Natalia Rijo. And Alabama responded with Alexis Papillo, a bases clearing 3 RBI double. We talked about responding. It's now Arkansas's turn They'll have 9-1-2 due up, beginning with Davison. She was hit by a pitch back in the third.
It's going to be interesting going into these last 2 innings to see what kind of leash Alabama has on Jocelyn Briskey. You might want to hold your other pitchers close to the chest, knowing they'll have to throw this weekend, but want to protect the lead as best you can as well.
Well, if you're Arkansas, you're just looking to have somebody on base, at least for Ella McDowell, who's due up 4th in this inning. Davison was thinking about getting a run out, but that's well foul. Change up through the left side. The tying run will come to the plate immediately here in the 6th.
Davison did a good job right there, not doing too much. And it's a big deal when you come off an inning like that and you're the first hitter up to do your job, stop the momentum, try to get something going on the other side for your team.
And the very speedy Reagan Johnson, who has not seen it well with an opportunity. A couple strikeouts, but looking for something productive at the least to get Davison into scoring position. Slap foul. Struck her out. Double digits for Briskey and a massive unproductive out.
Briskey has had Reagan Johnson's number all night long. First 2 times with the rise ball, this time with a nasty drop ball. Johnson has not seen Briskey well, and that's a big out.
The talented freshman, Brinley Bain. And again, a scenario where if you're Arkansas, you're just trying to make sure Ella McDowell gets up in this inning with somebody on. Briskey trying to shut that storyline down. That's pop foul.
When you talked about Ella McDowell coming up with somebody on base, and I'm Brinley Bain, I'm thinking I want Ella McDowell to come up with 2 people on base, give us a chance to take the lead.
2-2. Fouled off the rise again. Seventh pitch to Bain upcoming. Another long AB. Oh, wow. She stays alive, fouling off the change.
Really nice job there. Stays in her legs just enough to foul it off, get another pitch.
Strikeout number 11.
Jocelyn Brisky is just so unfazed by the moment. She's just getting better as this game goes on, using her drop ball a little bit more, spins it low, gets Bain swinging, and now you feel that momentum shift back, courtesy of Jocelyn Brisky and a couple strikeouts.
Can Ella McDowell get it back on her side? She'll take strike one. This is the hitter you want up if you're Arkansas. 0 for 2 tonight. As we mentioned, came in with 13 RBIs in her last 4 games. How are you pitching to her if you're Jocelyn Brisky?
I'm being really fine. I don't mind putting her on base, but I'm not going to intentionally walk her. I think you try to just get one good pitch, get her to get herself out. You can tell Brisky just dancing around the zone a little bit, doesn't want to leave anything all white on the plate for McDowell to hit.
Three and one.
You could tell McDowell was not expecting that in a hitter's count.
Payoff from Brisky. Got her! Jocelyn Brisky lets out a roar. And she strikes out the RBI machine to end the 6th.
Brisky again rising to the challenge with her drop ball. Strikes out 3 in a row to shut the door on the Arkansas offense.
Lights are up. It's been quite a night here at Rhodes Stadium. Alabama leads Arkansas 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Here in Tuscaloosa, and Alabama 24-0, trying to stay unbeaten really for the last 10 days. These have been the final 3 undefeated teams in the country. Grand Canyon in action now. They lead New Mexico 1-0 in the 3rd. And how about what's happening in Starkville, Mississippi? Going to the bottom of the 8th, scoreless, Tennessee at Mississippi State.
Tennessee is a different story going into the conference stretch without Carlin Pickens, and it's going to be interesting to see how they react and with how long she's out. But how impressive to be at this point in the season and not having lost yet. You want to be using that almost like a steamrolling train. Hey, every win, we're just feeling better and better, and we're going to continue to carry that. You know you're going to lose at some point, doesn't really matter, but you're still letting that momentum carry you through the beginning of conference play.
Well, we should note, it's been a, so far, complete game outing for Tennessee from Sage Marjetko. See if she can keep that up against the Bulldogs in the 8th inning. And speaking of the Bulldogs, a 2-1 count on Mississippi State transfer Salyn Hawkins, and she's looking for left. What a catch by Kennedy on the run.
Coach Deichel told us she has the best outfield in the country. Dakota Kennedy gets an early beat on this ball in the gap. Makes a good play to take the double away from Salyn Hawkins.
Now 1 down for Dukeshire. This is the first full inning of relief for Peyton Burnham, facing Dukeshire, who's 0 for 2. Dukeshire. 4th time she's been plunked this year, and a one-out base runner for Alabama.
His pitch runs up and in, gets off the forearm of Abby Dukeshire. You talk about the hitting numbers being down, but on base percentage still up there because of things like this. She's able to walk and get hit by pitches, still be productive.
Patrick Murphy will pinch run for Dukeshire at first. It'll be Kristen White.
Second baseman number 4, Jenna Young.
Jenna Young is 0 for 1. What a wild night this has been in softball. We're just checking scores now. Tracking Tennessee, Mississippi State. Arizona just run-ruled Texas Tech in Lubbock, 9-0.
With Nyjah Kennedy in the circle.
Crazy. Hard to find something better than this sport. 3-0 count for Young. Ball 4.
Left fielder, number 88, Lauren Johnson.
Great chance for Lauren Johnson. So Alabama looks for insurance here in the 6th. Talk about crazy. I just got a text from our friend and colleague, Karen Johns. Said tonight, Nyjah Kennedy gave up the first Grand Slam she surrendered in her career.
You have those nights, but so impressive that you've went this far in your career without giving up a Grand Slam. One of many impressive things in her career, but Arizona just showing up and showing out. I mean, we've talked about meeting the moment in this game. That's meeting the moment and making a statement.
Well, in all these games, again, we're way too early to talk about tournament time, but they all matter on the resume. And what's happening elsewhere could affect what happens to you, whether you win or lose. Alabama looking for a little extra here in the 6th. That squirts away. Both runners move up. Payoff in the air towards right. Wyckoff tracks it down, but that is certainly going to score. Kristen White. Sac fly for Lauren Johnson. She's 0 for 0 tonight, but all 3 plate appearances have been crucial.
She is such an underrated player for this Alabama team. The things she does need to be talked about more. Big insurance run.
To the top of the order with Vandergriff. Oh for 3, but reached on an error in the 5th and came around to score. The first time the Arkansas defense has blinked here this weekend. Nice play by Burnham. And it's just the one for Alabama. Is it enough? Arkansas down to their final 3 outs. We go to the 7th. Don't go anywhere, folks. Great finish coming up. And just added a big insurance run in the 6th, and now they turn to Jocelyn Brisky to try and finish off what has been a magnificent performance tonight. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 12 strikeouts, and she's done it all in just 88 pitches, Kaylee.
You can't say enough about the efficiency. It's those 12 Ks and no walks. She's making these teams earn everything that they're going to get, making it so difficult on any offense to get something going against her.
What a backhand by Hawkins. Web gem to start off the 7th.
This is how you set the tone in the 7th inning. Saylin Hawkins going to her knees, scooping it on a short hop, makes it look easy, but that is a very difficult play. First one is a big one.
Dakota Kennedy has her 2nd hit. Arkansas is not waiting around. 1-out single here in the 7th.
And that might be the bright spot, even if Arkansas does lose this game. Is this game a turning point for Dakota Kennedy? She has shown up and played really, really well. A big-time player.
Tying run still on deck. Kaylee Wyckoff 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Well, we should note, too, Arkansas trying to reverse a trend that's happened this year. The Razorbacks have not scored a run in the 7th inning so far this season. They need 3 here in the 7th. Two and two. Another one. Strikeout number 13.
Brisky works her changeup down, or excuse me, drop ball. She's been using a little bit of everything tonight. But nice job coming back after that single, getting the 2nd out, trying to close this game out.
She'll have to get through Italia Rijo. Rijo had the big execution piece in the 5th. 0 for 1 with a strikeout and that sac fly. Trying to bring up the tying run, which currently waits on deck.
Well, and this is why the insurance run is so big, because if Alabama doesn't get the insurance run last inning, you've got the tying run at the plate right now.
One, two. It's 14 Ks for Brisky. Alabama takes game one against Arkansas.
Jocelyn Brisky puts a bow on an amazing performance. She has done this all night long, bringing her best stuff for Alabama to get their 25th win in a row. She's fired up, Alabama's fired up, setting the tone on a Friday night in a top 10 showdown.
Still one of three unbeaten teams. The other two are in action. Alabama's done tonight, 25-0. And again, kind of unbelievable to think this is just the first of three here this weekend in Tuscaloosa. We'll step aside for just a moment. Alabama wins it 4-1 over Arkansas. Game one of the series. We'll wrap it up next here in Tuscaloosa. To this series, Alabama takes game one against Arkansas 4-1. Two more good ones coming up the rest of the weekend. Gray Robertson and Kaylee Tao up here in the booth. Pleased to be joined by the senior out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, Alexis Papillo. Alexis, congratulations on the win. I have to ask you, Arkansas walked Brooke Wells twice to get to you. The first time you struck out, the second time you cleared the bases to put up 3 runs for your team. What was it about that moment where you really seemed to thrive when Arkansas said, hey, try and beat us, and you did?
Honestly, there is nobody that I would rather hit behind than Brooke. Brooke is one of my best teammates, and honestly, this entire lineup is amazing in my opinion, and I'm just so grateful to be here and play for the best team in the country. So
That's not the only time this year that you've cashed in, though. You're having a heck of a year. What can you say about your performance this year?
I would say I would contribute it to the support of my teammates. Murph and all the coaching staff have done a great job of supporting me and making sure that I do whatever I need to do to make sure I'm the best version of myself.
And you got a great performance from your teammate Jocelyn Brisky in the circle tonight. Complete game win, 14 strikeouts. How much have you enjoyed watching this pitching staff work to where, hey, if it's a slower night at the plate, you've got time because Brisky, Moten, Palazzi, and the rest of the gang have been able to hold teams down?
I believe that our pitching staff is so deep and that we're a very competitive pitching staff, and it's been awesome to see Jocelyn and Vic and all the other pitchers just put the hammer down and do what they're supposed to do. So
I know you guys are so excited about this win on Friday night, but you still have 2 more games. How do you stay focused on tomorrow?
I would say that leave tomorrow to be tonight and early tonight to be today, and tomorrow is a brand new start, brand new at bats, brand new defense, brand new pitcher. So just take it from that point of view.
Well, tonight was a lot of fun for you, I'm sure. Alabama wins at 4-1. Lex Papillo, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Alexis Papillo with a big 3 RBIs as Alabama wins it by 3 in game 1 of this series. Join us tomorrow. You will not want to miss it. For my All-American partner, Kaylee Tao, and our entire hardworking SEC Network crew, I'm Gray Robertson saying so long from Tuscaloosa after Alabama grabs game 1, 4-1 over Arkansas. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a presentation of the SEC Network. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.